In Chicago, you know that all sports rock. The Bears, Hawks, Bulls, Cubs, and Sox. Pick your favorite, you can choose. As long as the Packers lose. For everything you need to know, it's Bill Swerski Sports Talk Chicago. Bill Swerski Sports Talk Chicago.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Bill Swerski Sports Talk Chicago. This is your hosts, Alex and Sean. On this episode, we are going to be talking about the Bears post-combine. We're going to be talking about White Sox and Cubs spring training, the Bulls finally winning a game, and more. But first, I'd like to thank our sponsor, the Rockford Ice Hogs. If you're not familiar with the Rockford Ice Hogs, they're the AHL minor league affiliate of the Chicago Blackhawks. What does that mean for you? You get to see the stars of tomorrow today at family-friendly, affordable prices. Season is going on right now, so head on over to icehogs.com, get yourself a hat, shirt, jersey, tickets, and more. Tell them Swerski Sports sent you. Alex, my friend, how are you doing on this lovely Sunday?
Doing great. Doing great.
Did you know today is Harry Carey's birthday?
I did, yeah. I saw the Cubs tweet about it.
Yes, happy birthday, Harry Carey. My friend texted me and reminded me of the time that the place we worked at did a lot of advertising with WGN, and they brought us up into the WGN booth for a game. I want to say it was against Houston. They're like, "Oh, do you want to go to the booth while Harry's broadcasting?" Yeah. So we got to go in, and Harry's sitting there, and he's got a woman on each of his legs. So he's got two women on his laps with his arms around him, and he's got a beer in front of him.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I ate 11 hot dogs that day
I'm sure you did. Good
because
work.
they were free.
Hey, speaking of free, did you happen to see the St. Louis Cardinals big deal this year that they have at the ballpark?
No.
Okay, so the Cardinals are introducing a ticket package starting at $29 that includes bottomless soda, hot dogs, chicken tenders, bratwurst, nachos, fries, popcorn, peanuts, chips, and ice cream.
That
I
doesn't
guess
sound like a good
partnering with
deal.
Coca-Cola.
That doesn't sound like a good deal for the team.
For the team, no. For the fan, it's great.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's food at the ballpark is really expensive. And
Yes.
like, what is a hot dog, like $11 or something?
I mean, it's ridiculous now. I mean, you go anywhere, any venue, and you're paying like three times what it's worth. So the fact that you get unlimited all of this, that's pretty big. I mean, that's like everything you can want at a ballpark. I mean, doesn't say pizza. I know people like pizza, but I don't really like eating pizza at a ball game.
No,
You
it's
know,
gross pizza.
I just pizza's not ballpark food in my opinion.
So
I just-
I'm a vegetarian, and when uh when before Wrigley got like some vegetarian options, I went there once, and really all they had was like nachos and peanuts and popcorn and things that aren't really a meal. And I was like, man, this stinks. So I literally grabbed a cardboard boat tray, and I got like 20 pickles from the hot dog station, and I just ate pickles.
That's amazing.
I just sat there with a whole thing of pickles eating it. Everyone around me must have just been glaring.
Hey, but you know what though? Those pickles are good. You put those, for me, I love putting those pickles on a hot dog, but just eating those pickle spears, I think they use they got Vienna hot dogs, those pickle spears. I don't know what brand those are. I mean, does Vienna have pickles?
I don't know.
Because Boar's Head does. There's Vlasic Boarhead's Clausen, which is really good. I don't know if Vienna does. But whatever the pickles they have are really good. I mean, I always get them when I put them on a hot dog. And I will say this too. I love like classic Wrigley Field nachos with just the cheese and the jalapenos. Love them.
You know what the nosiest vegetable is?
The nosiest vegetable?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean by the nosiest vegetable?
Jalapeno, because it's jalapeno business.
Oh, shut up. When I was asking that question, I'm like, oh, wait, it's some stupid ass joke, isn't it?
It definitely was.
I love jalapenos, though. Love
Uh,
them.
yeah, they're good. Yeah, with the nachos, it's a chef's kiss. Adds a little flavor to the cheese. I just wish I just wish they could figure out the ratio. Like I went to the movies and they gave me too much cheese, but not enough nacho. And then usually at the baseball game, it's too many nachos and not enough cheese.
Yeah, no, I agree. Although I feel like there was a time at the United Center, because I used to like getting nachos at the United Center too. I feel like there was a time where they were a bit more liberal with the cheese. Uh, but I don't know if they're as liberal with it now. I don't even know because I haven't had nachos at the UC in a little while. Because you know how, like Wrigley Field at the United Center now, they have those self-checkout lines. I don't know if the
Yes.
nachos are just there now. I honestly don't know. I haven't really looked because the last few times I've gone to the UC, I've gotten either like a quick snack, like a pretzel or something from the checkout line, or go to the actual line to get like a Chicago style hot dog and fries. I haven't had nachos in a few years there, so that's where they usually give you the tray of chips and then like the cup of cheese that's on the side. You technically pay for it separately, I think.
Where you gotta go is in the bleachers. There's a concession stand where you can get the nachos in a helmet.
Yeah, my friends and I did that in college when we sat in the bleachers. We went to get the nacho helmet, like the fully loaded one with all the shit in it, and like we had to wait like 2.5 innings just to get it. Like when we ordered it, I think like the concession workers are like, "Fuck these guys."
Yeah, I went there and there was the kind that has the meat in there, and I'm vegetarian, so I was like, "Can I get it without the meat?" And they're like, "What do you want on there?" I'm like, well, "Everything but the meat. Like, just load everything else. Can you give me extra other stuff?" And they did. And oh man, was it a mess? But and then I took the helmet into the bathroom and tried to rinse it out in the sink there, and it just was not a good experience there. Didn't really work well.
I thought you were gonna
That
say you
the
took a.
water the water pressure was not good enough to wash liquid cheese out.
I thought you were gonna say you took the helmet and yacked in it in the bathroom, returning the nachos to where they came.
Ugh.
Yeah, because when my friends and I did that, I think we tried to do the same thing. Like, I I know a couple of guys listen to this show. Particularly, shout out to John, who's been on the show. John, if you're listening to this, I am asking you through this episode, do you still have that nacho helmet from like 11 years ago?
What would he have done with it? You can't throw a helmet away.
Just keep it somewhere. I mean, because we definitely took it from the game back to school, but I don't know what happened to it after that.
I feel like it's one of those things that like anytime you have a gluttonous amount of food, there should be some sort of keepsake from it. Like uh like I you get a t-shirt um for eating like the biggest sundae in this side of the Mississippi, or you eat the old 96er steak and you get a hat or something. You get the helmet with you ate an ungodly amount of nachos.
Was the
Got to be a
96
keepsake.
the 96er, was that from Great Outdoors?
That was from the great outdoors.
Processing nicely, processing nicely.
All that's left is the fat and grizzle. Yep.
Of
Look at the
course he
maggots on
finished
that.
it.
That movie. Have you watched that movie in the past couple of years?
Yes.
It is so good. Such a classic.
It's an underrated John Candy movie. It really is.
Yes. And Uh, him and Dan Aykroyd, just so good.
Yeah, no, they there was a great like duo in that movie.
All right, where should we start today?
Well, I think we're going to see the Bears making some moves here. We obviously just had the combine, and there are rumors circulating around about some guys that are going to be traded, which is to no surprise.
I mean, this week, so the week, after the combine ended last year, the week before free agency started, is when you saw the Bears trade for Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson.
Hmm.
So that wouldn't be surprising. That would fit with what happened last year. Um, so I've heard three names with trade potential, and maybe you've heard others. The three I've heard are the obvious one,
Yeah.
Edmonds, that they gave permission to seek a trade. And from what Jeremy Fowler is reporting, there's actually a decent trade market for him. And the rumors are the Bears could pull in like a third round pick. I
Which
think
if you
that would
if you get that and salary relief, that's a good return.
I think so. Yeah. I think that would be huge. I mean, to be honest with you, most of the calculations I've done pretty much just have him as a cap casualty. Now, I wonder, I don't know, I didn't vet this, but I saw online, and I can't tell if it was one of those like made up articles from, there's like those outlets that just make up things and then post it as it's an article.
Oh yeah, the people will do like AI shit and
I
post it.
saw one and I just quickly skimmed it, and I didn't have, and I went to go, as soon as I finish this, I'm going to read it. And then when I went back to it, I couldn't find it, but it was saying that reports were saying that Tremaine Edmonds would be, consider taking a pay cut to stay with the Bears. I don't know if that's true. But I would imagine if they can fetch a third round pick for him, that he's going to be gone.
Yeah, and I mean what? So he's only 27, right? Like he's been in the league forever, but he's not that old. So, I mean, I can't say for sure, but if you're Tremaine Edmonds, would you really take a pay cut when when you got what is he going to make next year? $19 million dollars?
I don't know offhand, but yeah, he's scheduled to make a lot.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know what's going to happen. Um, but that's the one that, the no-brainer, because it's publicly been stated that he was granted permission to seek a trade. Um, I've heard the DJ Moore name bandied around again.
Yeah, I mean that's probably been one of the biggest discussion points. I mean, I guess you could say Tremaine Edmonds because that feels more certain, but with DJ Moore, I mean, this has been a conversation since the season ended, and I feel like it's a lot of hypotheticals, but I can't say it's not going to happen either.
Yeah, I just have a hard time, like, I know you'll get cap relief, but I just I just don't think they're going to trade DJ Moore. Maybe they do, maybe they surprise me. I just feel like when the clutch time came, he was still the go-to for the Bears.
Yeah, I agree. Now, if you were to tell me DJ Moore would be a trade, not because of a cap casualty or shifting things around, but involved in a trade that's going to bring you back a legit asset, like, for example, you're hearing a lot of these mock trades for Max Crosby, and it's like a few picks in DJ Moore. That is where I'm not saying like just do it, but I think that's where you seriously listen if there's potential to get something that you really, really need with a DJ Moore trade. But I don't want to trade DJ Moore just to trade DJ Moore like that because I want him off the team. And I don't want necessarily Tremaine Edmonds or DeAndre Swift off the team, but with them, it's understanding that they both are coming off good years. They bring value, but they're not irreplaceable. And you're going to have to make some moves to try to get yourself in a better cap position. And I think you can replace easily a Tremaine Edmonds. I think you can replace, as well as he played last year, I think you could easily replace a DeAndre Swift. And sure, in theory, you could replace a DJ Moore. You do have Luther Burden and Roma Dunze on the team, and then obviously a pass catching tight end in Colson Loveland. But like you said, the way he stepped up clutch in some of those big moments, I know there was some inconsistency with him and Caleb, but again, I'm not saying he's unmovable, but I'm reluctant to just say I want to just trade him. You got to see what's in it for the Bears before I even have that conversation.
Yeah, you can easily restructure some things, move money around to create cap space. It's you don't want to all that momentum that you built last year and the building the offense, and you don't want to lose some of that by getting rid of DJ Moore without a replacement. And if
Hmm.
and if you do move him, wide receiver suddenly becomes a position of I wouldn't say need, but I wouldn't not say need. It's that kind of need. Sure, you've got Roma Dunze and you got Luther Burden, and you like both of them, but do you trust the two of them to carry your offense? Not at this
Yeah, I
point, I don't
mean,
think.
right. I mean, I do think that Luther Burden's future is very, very bright, but you use Luther Burden in certain situations. When I'm looking to win a one-on-one battle because he's got the better hands, I'm going to DJ Moore first. Luther Burden is one that can get open or juke guys, or get yards after the catch. But is Luther Burden going to be a guy where you say, okay, the defender's on one, I need you to outmuscle, outmatch the guy that's right on you? I would trust DJ Moore to do that more than Luther Burden or Roma Dunze at this point. I think Roma Dunze needs to become that guy. And as much promise as he's shown in a number of areas, great route runner, really good at blocking. It just, we've talked about it before. The pass catching needs to get better for a guy who's a ninth overall pick. So, to your point, I would want another guy like a DJ Moore where you could just be like, yeah, that's your number one or top two dude where you can go and win a battle one on one or be the go to guy in clutch time.
Yeah, I Roma Dunze is I think going to be pretty good. It just he's not there yet. He's got to take a big step forward. Luther Burden is taking that step.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be pretty good, but I think you just need that. If you had another receiver that was young that you saw promise in, all right, maybe you feel better about trading DJ Moore. You just don't have that. And um, I don't love the depth that they have at wide receiver if they get rid of him.
Right. Because if you get rid of DJ Moore, you pointed out that your top two guys are going to be Burden and Adunze. Lamine Zaccheaus is probably gone. Don't think you're bringing him back. So then you're looking at kind of a short leash of how many guys you have.
You have Jade Walker, who I do like.
I like Jade Walker too, but like I think he's a 5'4" type of guy.
He's just not. I mean, who knows what his ceiling is, but he's not going to be replacing. He's not going to be replacing DJ Moore at this
Oh
point.
goodness, no.
Um, so it's it's uh it's one of those things you're just like without a replacement, I feel uncomfortable trading him away.
Yeah, I do too, unless you're getting something really big.
Yeah, I mean that changes things. Uh, so I I just don't know, if you're getting enough for him. So that just leaves me to probably not trade him.
Yeah.
I just I don't like if you've got one side of the ball settled for the most part, don't upset it for trying to fix the other side. It just is work through the draft, try to make some smart free agent signings, create some cap room through extensions and restructures, and then just hope that a couple of guys getting a year older and some guys getting healthier make your defense better. Don't upset the apple cart with your offense to try to make your defense better. To just, I don't think that's the right choice.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's a different story if somebody's like, oh, a first rounder, and then you get that cap relief and a first rounder. Then you're okay. That changes the calculus of it, but you're not getting a first rounder for DJ Moore, I don't think.
No, I wouldn't expect it.
I mean, you could ask for it.
Well, of course. If you were to tell me he was part of a Max Crosby deal and a Max Crosby deal that made sense, that didn't feel like a massive overpay, yeah, again, that's a spot where I would potentially listen to that. But it also depends what else you're giving up. Because don't get me wrong, I would love to have Max Crosby on this team. And I think it is a possibility to at least explore. But what else are you willing to? It wouldn't just be DJ Moore for Max Crosby. You're talking giving up draft capital. How much would that be?
That's the
It's
thing. And so Jeremy Fowler had a point about this is sure, there's going to be what the Raiders would want, but they don't think the market is going to be what it was for Micah Parsons. And so then you're looking at maybe a first and a player. I would do that.
sure.
First and a third in a player. Okay. Um, you know, you're starting to get into the more realistic. But then he also said that he's not sure if the Raiders are willing to move Max Crosby. And I don't know. I don't know what to think because from what I read is Max Crosby's close with the owner Mark Davis of the Raiders, but he also wants to be on a winning team. And the Raiders are not going to be a winning team for at least a couple years
No,
minimum.
and even if it's a new coach, and I could be wrong here, but you saw how pissed he was after the way that season ended with the decision to sit him.
Yeah, he was so he's not happy about that. He's not happy about not winning, and it's going to be worse next year. And so I don't know. Is he from what I read, he has not demanded a trade, but he's hinted at wanting to go to certain teams.
Yes.
So who knows this is one of those things that it's probably I would say if it's not wrapped up because it's not ugly at this point.
Not
So
right now.
I would say if he's not traded on day one of the draft, that there's probably a 80% chance that he stays with the Raiders.
Fair.
Because some of the other people that have gotten traded that were big names, like when Khalil Mack came to the Bears, those were starting to get toxic situations. They were, hey, we got to do this. Not
Well, he
gonna,
wasn't even going to camp, right? Like he wasn't even practicing.
yeah. So it's that had to be a trade. Now maybe things get uglier with Max Crosby. I don't know if I see that.
He
Um,
doesn't seem like that kind of guy.
and I mean, it's not a money thing. So usually they're sitting out because of money,
Right.
not because of, so he's got a contract. He's well paid. So if he's not traded on the first night of the draft where the first rounds go, um, he's more than likely, way more than likely going to stay with the Raiders. So, we've got what, month and a half or so before we know.
Hmm.
I mean, he very well could get traded before, but I I would think that there would be no way he's traded until probably after the first wave of free agency at earliest, because people are going to try to get guys that they can just pay for and not have to give up capital, and then Then you start to have people figure out like, all right, well, what's our option B or C?
Right.
Um, I think, there's a lot of guys that are being shopped right now in the league, but it's not a lot of them are maybe players that people want to trade for. Um, like I know the Dolphins are very, very hopeful they can trade Tua, but nobody's trading for Tua.
No. God, no.
Same with Kyler Murray. I don't think anybody's going to trade for Kyler.
Well, and he's not like they're trying to sell him, right? Like the Arizona Cardinals are trying to put him on the block.
Yeah, it's just nobody's going to. And it's not like, I mean, I think somebody would probably give up a pick for Kyler Murray if he didn't have that big contract. You're not going to trade for that guy and pay for the contract.
Right.
You're gonna wait for him to be cut, and then you can negotiate a contract at that point. And sure, then you've got other teams you're competing with, but then you're not paying that giant salary. Um, so yeah, there's a bunch of guys out there that I don't think are going to be traded. And there's AJ Brown, who from what I read, is the Eagles won't budge from their asking price, and the league is saying that asking price is too high. And from anonymous front office people, they think the realistic compensation for an AJ Brown is a second round pick. So, number one, that puts into perspective what a DJ Moore value would be.
Do
And
you think he's worth that right now? AJ
no, no,
Brown?
I
Just in your opinion, do you think he's worth that?
I would give up a second round pick. The thing is, you just got to make him happy. He's a pain in the ass. He's like a Terrell Owens. He's a really good receiver. He's a difference maker. But man, you got to placate him. And if I'm Buffalo, oh yeah, I'm throwing that second round pick out there. Yeah, why not? That you need that guy. Imagine that team with a real wide receiver.
No, yeah, I know. I mean, I agree that he's got all the talent in the world. Like he has the talent of like a top 10, top even five, arguably wide receiver in this league, but there is baggage that comes along with it. So I'm curious to see what happens there. I think the Patriots would be very interested in
I would
AJ
think so
Brown.
too. I would
Yeah.
think so too.
Reunite with Mike Vrabel.
Um, yeah, so I would think that would be an option as well. I just don't think anybody's getting up a first round pick.
No, I mean, I wouldn't. With the baggage that comes with it. I mean, again, talent wise, you can make an argument, but there's more to that than just the talent. But I do think if you put AJ Brown in a really good situation with a really good quarterback in a really, really good offensive scheme that fits his style, then I think he can be very happy and very, I shouldn't say very pleasant to work with, but better to have on your team. Because, I mean, you saw the visible frustration last year with him on the Eagles, even though they were just coming off a Super Bowl win and they still made the playoffs. You saw how different that offense looked last year versus the year before.
Oh yeah. I mean, but from what I hear is from based on what was said in interviews with an offensive coordinator for the offensive coordinator position, that it sounded like AJ Brown was going to be in the cards to stay with the Eagles. So I wonder if it's one of those things where the Eagles put out an asking price that's high, and it's like, hey, what would I move him? And this will lead into the next Bears player that I've heard trade rumors in. But you put a price tag on publicly that you're not willing to move off of. And if somebody meets it, you go, okay, I will move him for that price, but I'm not moving him for less. And it's probably too high, but you also don't really want to move the player. It's like, that amount of money that makes you move off of your willingness to keep him,
Hmm.
not what his actual value is.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of like seeing if someone will take bait, and if not, you keep the bait.
yeah, like, if the Bears make it to the Super Bowl and I had Super Bowl tickets and they were like, oh, you willing to sell them? Yeah, $10,000. And then I'm like, I don't want to sell them, but if somebody gave me $10,000, I would be okay watching it on television and staying
Yeah,
home because at $10,000 is a lot of money. It's worth that's way more than those tickets are worth. Um,
right.
that's with AJ Brown. I think they want to keep him, but if somebody was willing to give them a first rounder, they'd change their mind, and that would probably change how they attack the free agency and the draft.
Yeah.
And that leads us into the third player I've heard trade rumors about, and that'd be Tyson Bagent. Now, from what I hear, Case Keenum is probably not going to be a Bears player next year. But the Bears are interested in bringing him on the coaching staff. So
I
that
would
would
love that.
I would love that too. I think that would be basically what they did this year, except without having to pay him a salary, like
Right.
or a salary that counts towards a salary cap.
You want to work with us for free?
$15 an hour.
Olin Kreutz didn't take it, but you might.
But no, where his salary doesn't count towards the cap. But Tyson Bagent is the only other quarterback you have on the roster. And I think that Ben Johnson likes him a lot.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was talking him up during the combine. You did see that, right?
Yes. Now he is a player that's very similar. Now, is he somebody that's not like untouchable? No. So if he's not an untouchable, then he's got to have a price, right?
Correct.
But just because he's not untouchable doesn't mean you just want to move him necessarily.
Correct.
So if I'm the Bears and people are sniffing around, I throw a price tag out there that's high. That'll be very high, but not something that historically is out of this world. I put a first rounder on Tyson Bagent.
See if someone bites.
Yeah. I mean, if you ask for a first rounder, what's the worst that they say? Nah, I'm not interested. And then you keep your backup quarterback and then you move along. But if somebody comes along and offers you a first rounder for Tyson Bagent, yeah, you take that.
Mm-hmm. That would be pretty tempting.
And,
I
we've
mean,
seen backup quarterbacks get traded for first rounders before.
yes.
It's, usually those are in desperate situations. But to be honest with you, there's some teams that are in desperate situations.
Well, I mean, we mentioned the Arizona Cardinals. Sorry to any of my Colts fan friend listeners, but the Colts QB situation is a little bleak right now.
Yeah. I mean, the Dolphins.
The Dolphins, sure. I mean, I know Justin Fields is going to be under contract next year, but I assume they're going to draft somebody.
I mean, where are the Jets drafting?
Well, I mean, they're drafting fairly high. I mean, they were terrible last year. But this class isn't exactly loaded with quarterbacks.
No, it's not.
I mean, Mendoza is going to be the first one taken, right?
Yes.
That's pretty obvious.
The Jets are drafting second.
Yeah. So
So there's not, let's see, mock draft. What's the next quarterback taken?
Mendoza, I mean, you'd be shocked if Mendoza didn't go first overall, right? I think a lot of people
I
would be.
I would be absolutely shocked.
Yeah.
So the mock I'm looking at on Tankathon does not have another first round quarterback. And I think that probably checks out.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably right.
So if you're the Jets, um, you know, you're like, okay, well, there's not another first rounder. Am I going to wait and pick it in the second round? Or do I
They
take
might
somebody?
trade back. I mean, I wonder if they trade back. There's some people saying they will. I don't know if they will, but
I don't know. If I'm the Jets, the best player in this draft is probably Arvell Reese, the edge rusher from Ohio State. And if you can get the best player in the draft at number 2, I'd be like, you know what? Let me trade a 2027 first rounder. I'd probably offer less, but I'd be willing to go to next year's first round pick for a quarterback And you're like, okay, well, maybe I got quarterback solved and I'm adding an elite edge rusher, like a game wrecker. All right, maybe this is okay. You probably tag Brees Hall if you can't get a contract done. Um, I don't think, if you can, I don't think it's as bleak as it possibly is, especially if you can get a quarterback with next year's draft, a trade this year with a next year pick. And if you offer a 2027 first round pick for Tyson Bagent, he's not worth it. Not saying he's bad, but he's just not worth that. And you're the Jets, and you're like, okay, well, if I get him and we've got a healthy Brees Hall and we fix some of our defensive play and, hey, we'll probably be a lot better. And, and that pick is not going to be as good. So I don't know. It's, I mean, especially if they can't add like a Kyler Murray or a Geno Smith. I don't know if they're going to want Geno Smith. I just don't
Go
know.
back to his roots.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to go with a Tua.
What if they draft a quarterback in the later rounds? Technically possible, right?
This
is
anything's
the Jets.
possible.
This is the Jets we're talking about. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, I mean, I don't think I really don't. I don't want this to sound like I think somebody's going to trade a first round pick for Tyson Bagent. It's what I would do is I would put a first round price tag on him, and then make somebody meet it. And if they don't, then I'm happy keeping him. I'm happy keeping a guy that we like that's making $5 million a year.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on there. I'm not desperate to trade Tyson Bagent. I'm also not saying you absolutely cannot not trade or do trade Tyson Bagent. It's one of those things where to me it feels more likely he stays than not, but there's absolutely a chance he does get moved if there is a reasonable price that benefits the Bears. Now, one thing I also want to ask when it comes to the outlook of the backup quarterback is if you do trade Tyson Bagent, who are you bringing in? You're going to need a backup because if Case Keenum's not playing, if he goes somewhere else or he retires and stays here as a coach and you trade Tyson Bagent, you're going to need to get somebody, obviously. So who would that be? And
I don't know.
are you, because remember, we had this conversation recently. Veteran quarterbacks, they can make some money. Even if they don't play a single snap in the regular season or they don't play a single meaningful snap and they're just coming in blowouts, they could still make a ton of money. So if you're trying to maneuver the cap and you're trying to free up as much space as possible, now, obviously, Case Keenum didn't make that much money last year, so if you get somebody like that at a price like that, sure, but there are other quarterbacks, backup quarterbacks, that could potentially make more. So you are going to want to have that backup plan. Yeah, I think there's a better chance of the sun exploding tomorrow. And
I mean, here's your options. Daniel Jones is going to make a lot of money. So no,
he's also hurt.
He's also hurt. Russell Wilson is washed.
No.
Marcus Mariota, Tyrod Taylor, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Jimmy Garoppolo, Mitchell Trubisky.
Bring him home. Bring him home.
Trey Lance, Carson Wentz, Josh Johnson, Brandon Allen. I'm not going to mention players that are going to be getting starter money. Teddy Bridgewater, Gardner Minshew, Brent Rippon, Easton Stick, Tyler Huntley, John Wolford, Skylar Thompson, Tommy Cutlets, Hendon Hooker, Sam Howell, Jake Browning, Sam Ellinger. There's not the best there. No. That would be funny to bring Mitchell Trubisky back, though.
No way.
We wouldn't, but that would be funny.
That would be funny. I mean, if you were to pick any, like, let's say you had to get a backup. Let's just play a little exercise. Tyson Bagent's gone. You need to get a backup. Who are you getting of that crop? Like, who would be your choices?
Of that crop. Ugh. Um,
I wouldn't like. I'm not saying I love it, but pick there. I just feel like you might have to pay him some money that you wouldn't want to.
I'm probably going Marcus Mariota, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, so what? You said Marcus Mariota, Gardner Minshew.
All right. So Russell Wilson is a hard no.
No,
Russell or Marcus Mariota is in the, I guess so pile. Tyrod Taylor is about to turn 37.
nah,
There's a time
nah.
like I've nothing against him. Like there's a time I'd have been like, yeah, that would probably be the choice, but he's really old. Zach
Yeah,
Wilson's a hard no. Joe Flacco is 41.
yeah, no.
You know, can you imagine though with how smart he is in Ben Johnson's system?
No, I mean, as a player, I wouldn't hate that, but are you really going to have your backup quarterback be in his 40s?
I
Because
mean,
Lord forbid something happens to Caleb. And then, sure, you put Joe Flacco back there, a guy that can get the ball out quickly, and if he's got a good line in front of him, you got Joe Tooney blocking for you. Sure, but I mean, are you going to risk having your successor to an injured Caleb Williams be someone who's 41 years old?
I don't know, man. I might be willing to roll that dice. And with it on the with a caveat. With a caveat is you if you take a flyer on another Tyson Bagent type where he's got a big arm, doesn't get drafted. Um, so I'm like looking right now
Be a hell
who
lot cheaper.
uh like you have to have somebody in the wings as a young third rounder or third stringer.
Oh, so you're saying you add him on top of a veteran
Yes.
backup.
So you have him as that bridge backup
I see.
where like Tyson Bagent, when he came in, I think was supposed to be like the bridge backup, and he just
Right.
outplayed all of the other backups.
Well, yeah, because didn't he outplay PJ Walker?
Yes, by a lot. And so you went, oh, okay. And he moved his way up. And, that happened a lot faster than you expect. But I think that would be the dream situation, or not the dream situation, but like if you trade away a Tyson Bagent, is to get another Tyson Bagent, and then you have an older veteran. Joe Flacco is about as veteran as you're going to get that fits the bill of what you're. I wouldn't hate that.
Yeah, and he wouldn't break the bank necessarily.
No, you're probably paying him $4 million, four and a
Yeah,
half. It's less than what you're paying Tyson Bagent.
4.5 is what he made in 2024.
I think he made four
So,
and a quarter, so something like that. But yeah, so maybe he gets a bump, but it's probably right on par with what you pay Tyson Bagent now.
right. But again, that's a conversation that I think we could go deeper in if they actually do move him.
I just don't expect it. Um, yeah,
They
I'm
got to
looking at.
listen. They got to listen hard. They got to do their diligence, but they're not going to do it just to do it.
Um, yeah, I don't. Uh, yeah, I think I mean, if you're going to draft somebody, you find somebody that has played a lot of college football. Um, a lot. Like that quarterback uh from like Georgia Tech. I think he's like a senior, so um like that's going to be either undrafted or like a seventh round. Um, and then that becomes your bridge guy. But like I said, I'm not trading. I'm not trading Tyson Bagent unless you get something like legit for him, like a
No,
first
I'm
rounder.
with you. I'm with you.
Yeah. Have you heard of any other players um, that with a the trade rumor attached to them?
No, I mean, I think a lot of people are thinking about DeAndre Swift, whether that's a trade or a cut, but I'm not hearing anything solid there. I mean, really the big ones that we're hearing about is Bajent and Tremaine Edmonds right now, and DJ Moore.
I would really love to get in the draft Jeremiah Love.
Oh God, could you imagine?
Did you see what he ran?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my God. He's
There's
so
no
good.
way he falls to the Bears, right? There's no
No, none.
way.
No, he doesn't. He's a single digit draft guy.
Yeah, so let's look at the latest mock. So this is Dan Parr's mock on NFL.com. Just out of curiosity, he's got Jeremiah Love going to the Commanders. That is
He,
pick 7.
yeah, he is not. I know a lot of people were mocking him at like 9 to the Chiefs. I don't think he lasts to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, looking at some of the other teams here, like, okay, Fernando Mendoza, first overall, we know. You mentioned Arvell Reese going to the Jets, number 2. He's got Arizona Cardinals, Spencer Fano, offensive tackle from Utah. Tennessee Titans, David Bailey, edge from Texas Tech. Then you have Francis Mayoga, offensive tackle, Miami. Uh, then Caleb Downs, they have him, the safety from Ohio State, going to the Browns. Then Jeremiah Love, then Carnell Tate from Ohio State to the Saints, and they have Reuben Bain Jr. from Miami going to the Chiefs. So I mean that's just one mock draft, but yeah, I would kind of be surprised if he gets past New Orleans, frankly, who's pick number 8. Could happen, but I feel like one of those top 8 teams will probably pick him. I'd love it if he went to the Browns or hell, even the Chiefs. I just don't want him in the NFC.
Yep, he's that guy is a threat to score a touchdown anytime he touches the ball from anywhere on the field. Like he
Yeah.
gets a crease if he's on his back to the goal line and he gets a crease, he could be gone. And he's
Yeah.
also that tough runner. I mean, I think we've all seen the clip of him breaking like 8 tackles against Penn State, who was a really good defense, and just spinning out of them, breaking tackles to get the extra yards. The guy's a beast. He's an absolute beast. I
Yeah,
would,
and he impressed at the combine, that's for sure.
yeah, he's gonna be early. I mean, even where the Bears drafted last year, they wouldn't have been able to get
No.
Jeremiah Love.
No, no, probably not. I mean, maybe maybe Ryan Poles can challenge some of that magic voodoo that got him Roma Dunze. Remember when he wanted to trade up and they were
Yeah,
like, was it Ian Cunningham that was
yep,
like, my dog, just chill.
yeah. Speaking of that situation, both Ian Cunningham and Ryan Poles have spoken about the draft compensation, and Ian Cunningham said the Bears should get the compensation, and Ryan Poles said that they're having those conversations with the appropriate people. That fight's not over. I think the Bears deserve those 2 third round picks.
They should. I mean, they out flat out said who the football decision maker was. Ian Cunningham is the GM. It is a promotion. Oh well, technicalities here, technicalities there, blah 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 blah. Fuck that noise. Give me our picks. Did you see? I tweeted out the other day the Michael Scott "Where are the turtles?" But it's "Where are the comp picks?"
I mean, they haven't awarded the comp picks yet. So it's not nothing's official yet. Those will get awarded probably in maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Better get them soon because the draft is coming up, and you got to plan and prepare for that.
Yeah. So yeah, usually they give them out a few weeks before the draft. And um so the draft is April 23rd. So I would say by sometime the end of this month, because we're now in March, uh sometime later in this month we'll see those get awarded. And uh that's when it'll be official. The Bears either get them or they don't.
A very strong worded purple crayon written letter on a piece of yellow paper.
We've reached out to the proper people. And purple crayon.
You hear his voice well in the background shouting it.
He's got one of those like old timey like cones that he's yelling at, like old cheerleaders. He's like, "It's purple crayon."
I just like those like kitty type pads of paper that look like the lined paper, but it's like yellow. Like you can picture what I'm saying,
Yes.
right? That's what I picture it being written on. It's kind of like crumpled a little bit, and it's just all in purple crayon.
It looks like it's written in purple crayon on a Lisa Frank notepad. There's like glitter and butterflies on it. Like, this is my favorite kind. Mother, let me pick out Lisa Frank stuff.
We have a whole closet of it.
I got this notepad from Party City at the closing sale.
Oh,
It's got unicorns on it. Unicorns are my favorite because they look like they have purple crayons on their foreheads. Mother used to call me her unicorn, mostly because I have a purple crayon stuck to my forehead.
Oh, Georgie Porgy. I miss Party City so much. Because, like, isn't that gone? Like,
Oh, it's
all of them
gone,
are
gone.
gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
That is such a shame, man.
It went the
loved
way of
Party City.
Ponderosa.
There used to be a party. There used to be two party cities by us. One in the mall by me on 83 in St. Charles. And then there was the one that was kind of close by towards Oak Brook Mall on 22nd. But I mean, just going in there and like looking at all like the party toys and just all the stuff you could buy, I'm like, man, that takes me back. And it's sad knowing that those are gone.
Yeah, it's the way of the world. Um, let's see, Bears. What else? Uh, it's looking more and more like it's going to be in Arlington Heights, the new stadium.
Yeah, it's just I'm tired of it. Just
Do
get it done.
do you remember when the Ricketts were trying to get money from Chicago and the state for all the Wrigley work they were doing?
Oh yeah.
And then the mayor of Rosemont was like,
Hmm.
"We'll give you this 25-acre plot of land if you move here." And everybody knew, like, nobody went, "Oh my God, the Cubs are moving to Rosemont?" The Cubs were not going to move to Rosemont just because that opportunity was there of the freedom and the land for free. It just wasn't going to happen.
There are like three teams in the entire country that are never going to move. The Cubs, the Red Sox, and the Packers. Because the Cubs will never leave Wrigley, the Red Sox will never leave Fenway, the Packers will never leave Lambeau.
Yeah. So you just know that that wasn't the Indiana thing wasn't real. So now Illinois is going to vote on some sort of proposal, and it's not going to be, exactly what the Bears want, but it's going to be enough. And they're going to be like, you know
compromise,
what, we need to break ground on this, because the one thing that they have said that's true is every year they wait, the stadium costs more money.
Right.
So they want the shovels in the ground, and they'll take whatever they're given. And it's either they know they can't move to Indiana. They know what assholes they'll look like.
Yeah. No, they'll be the butt of the joke for decades
Yeah.
to come.
Yeah, they're not getting a Super Bowl in Indiana.
No, of course not. And, like I've said before, you'll be able to get the fans to the games, no problem. But in terms of other events or just getting people to an entertainment hub, Like, are you going to go to Hammond, Indiana? Like, hey, you know what? I want to go to Hammond, Indiana to check out the shops around the Bears Stadium. No. Are you going to get it in Arlington Heights? Of course. It's in the middle of suburban Chicago where there are so many people and there are so many places to go in and out of in that area where the accessibility is very, very easy. That makes a big difference. And like we said last week, you're gonna go from Lake Forest, Hallis Hall, all the way to Indiana?
No,
No.
it's dumb. And you know what? The league the league has a say in all of this. And
Correct.
they're going to be like, "No, you're not going to move to a toxic waste dump in Hammond in a swamp." Like, no, come on now. Like use it as leverage, but everybody knows it's leverage. And the Bears got played on that too because they were like, we got the leverage. Look at this, and the city went or the state went, oh, okay, well we canceled our vote, and they're like, whoa, 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 and then you're like, oh, we know we got you, and the state knew that they had to pony up something, and so uh it's gonna something's gonna get done, and the Illinois will give more than they wanted to give, and the Bears will get it'll be closer to what Illinois wants, but the Bears will get something, and then uh they'll start breaking ground probably later this year.
Yep. I mean, that's my hope. I don't know why, but I have this really funny visual of Illinois voting on the stadium, and they're just all wearing those obnoxious old style powdered wigs. Hear ye, hear ye. Here is the matter of the Bears in the state of Illinois. The submission is written in purple crayon?
Yeah, so I think this is going to get done, and it's going to get done sooner rather than later. Um, and then there'll be probably an announcement sometime before the season starts, or right around when the season starts, that the Bears are going to breaking ground in Arlington Heights, and then everybody like, oh, okay, and then in 4 years we'll have a stadium.
Yeah, and I can already see that groundbreaking ceremony. You know that Kevin Warren is going to raise his hands to the sky and then have a moment and then thrust that shovel in the ground.
I mean, if they don't get a deal done, you got to consider firing Kevin Warren, right?
Yes.
I mean, because you needed him for to be an adult in the room. You've got an adult in the room now with Ben Johnson. So you've got one adult in there. You don't need Kevin Warren. If he's not doing the job he's supposed to be doing, you move on. The stadium's
Right.
got to get started, this summer.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last thing I had for Bears is, did you see the NFL Players Association team grades came out?
I did, yes, I did.
So the Bears scored pretty well.
They
Uh,
did.
I will tell. I don't. Did you look at every team or just the Bears?
I saw a brief ranking, like in terms of like overall added scores, but I mainly just paid attention to the Bears.
Do you know what team in the Bears division got the lowest score for their head coach?
Yeah, it was Green Bay. It was Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur was the only one that didn't get an A.
Didn't he get like a B or
I
something?
think he got a B minus.
Hmm.
Everybody else in the division got an A.
Which you knew Ben Johnson was going to get an A. You knew that Dan Campbell was going to get an A. Probably figured that Kevin O'Connell was going to get an A. But yeah, Matt LaFleur not quite as high.
Um, so some of the lower scores the Bears got: treatment of the family, C plus. Um, I wonder if that's the next one is home field, C. I wonder if those are related. I wonder if it's just the stadium is older and there wasn't good opportunities for the families at the games
Could
that
be.
that are going to get alleviated once they have a new stadium. I have a feeling those are connected. Um, Nutrition A, locker room B plus, uh, weight room A, strength coach A minus. Um, the
One stood out to me.
two stood out to me. One, special teams coordinator B minus, and position coaches B minus.
Well, that was another one too. I'm like, really? I thought that would have scored higher.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder who brought that down.
I don't
What's the one
know.
that stood out for you?
Uh, defense.
Um, did I not write that one down? I didn't write that one down. What did what defense get?
Oh, let me look at it. I thought it was lower. Let me pull it up so I get the grade right. But in terms of the position, yeah, I thought that would have scored higher.
Yeah, offensive coordinator A minus. Um,
Yeah, and you know what? That brings up a point here, and we've heard more and more about this. Is I think the Bears, as much as I believe in Ben Johnson, I think they're going to miss Declan Doyle more than we think.
um,
I've heard a lot of good things about Declan Doyle.
I
And the
he,
fact that he already got an OC job, I
where I think they might miss him is those halftime adjustments.
that's a big one, yes.
But
Okay, so here we go. Defensive coordinator, C plus.
that's disappointing.
Yeah, because I mean, listen, you can say what you will about Dennis Allen at some points of the season and some of the defensive schemes that he had in some games. Because yeah, there were times where I was scratching my head a little bit. I also don't think he always had the personnel to do what he wanted to do, especially when we're talking about generating more pass rush. Although I think in that last playoff game against the Rams, I thought he called a master class that game. But yeah, that definitely stood out to me.
You know, could he have gotten more pressure on quarterbacks? Yes. But based on what he was able to do with how many injuries they had, especially at the cornerback position, you're like, all right. And cornerback and linebacker. You're like, okay. I feel like he did a pretty good job. There were some games where you're just like, oh God, this sucks. But I think the biggest thing was how do you get more pressure?
Right.
That's the one thing without having to bring the house, without having to blitz cornerbacks. Um, what's what's the answer?
Better players. I mean, to start, more balanced attack. You can only scheme so much. And I mean, obviously, we've seen them effectively use when Kyler Gordon was healthy, when you have nickel blitzes or when you have blitzes from your secondary and other places, like, when we see Jaquan Brisker getting to the quarterback, but you can't just rely, like, you need guys up front to be able to get to the quarterback more consistently, whether that's several individuals or just as a unit.
Dio Dangbo's path to a gold jacket starts this season.
Don't.
Uh, yeah. So I mean, I think overall, I think the Bears scored pretty well. I think people like it here. Um, and the future looks bright for the Bears. and uh and I saw I guess one last thing is I saw this analysis that I thought was really in depth about Caleb Williams. And essentially they went into, it's lazy to talk about some of the criticisms of him, with his the lower uh, completion percentage, et cetera, et cetera. But it really went mathematically into it and found better metrics, like more advanced metrics that show what a value he is. And in some metrics, like they have him behind Josh Allen, the only behind Josh Allen as in the NFL quarterbacks. And and then they said based on like the metrics they're putting together, they're like, he still got room to improve, and he took a big step forward this year. And they said the trajectory he has uh, is Andrew Luck. Like he's right on track with Andrew Luck. And I was like, man, I think that's a pretty damn good comp.
Without the injuries, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, like just the the type of player he was, and the where he went in the draft and the
Hmm.
expectations. And you saw him, you know, where he was good but not great, and then he took a big leap forward, and just some of the type of play that he had, I was like, wow, I like that. I use a lot of Josh Allen, and I think I don't wouldn't say it's lazy, but it's not quite accurate. Um, they're like Josh Allen is a lot more willing to put the ball into harm's way than Caleb Williams is. Um, and but I kind of like that Andrew Luck comp based on stats. And you don't want to see him retire early, but man, Andrew Luck was was just phenomenal when he retired at what, 27, 28.
Oh yeah, I mean he was well on his way to being one of the generation's greatest.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. I'll have to find that article. Where do you want to go from here?
Well, spring training is in full swing, pun intended.
Should we start with the White Sox?
Sure.
I got a lot of grief from Gary for not talking enough about the White Sox. Um, and we don't talk about enough their young players. I don't know if I'm prepared to talk about all their young players right now, but there are some stuff to talk about for the White Sox.
Hmm.
One, I barring injury, I think their rotation might be set.
Yeah,
I
I would think so. And Shane Smith is probably going to be the opening day starter, right?
Yeah, Shane Smith, Davis Martin, Anthony Kay, Eric Fetty, and probably Sean Burke. That's
So is
probably your
Cannon going
rotation.
to be a reliever?
Is what?
Is Cannon going to be a reliever?
Probably.
Okay.
Um, the other one is this team has been slugging the shit out of the ball this spring training.
Yeah, they have. They have absolutely been doing it. And it's been kind of a bit of everybody. It's been some of the veterans, it's been some of the young kids. I mean, Edgar Caro is absolutely killing the baseball. I think he's
Killing
going
the
to be
baseball,
really,
but he hit his first home run today.
yeah,
Uh, Braden Montgomery hit his first home run today. Um, you're seeing guys rake. And the only one that's not really is Kyle Teal, but I don't feel particularly concerned about it. Uh
I mean, you shouldn't. It just turned March.
yeah, it's literally today is March 1st, and he's a young player. You take spring training stats with a grain of salt. But it is nice to see the White Sox just absolutely raking as a team. If it's a couple of guys that are doing well, and they're guys that, they don't have a history of doing that, you start groaning a little bit, going, what are we going to get in the season? But it's most everybody is hitting well. And you're like, okay, all right, here we go. Um, this is this might be a year where the White Sox are actually somewhat competitive.
Right. I think they're going to be better than people think. I really do. I mean, I think that at least this year, you have areas where you've drastically improved, whether that's bringing in somebody or having some of these young kids come up. I think that when you look at their infield, that's where a lot of the intrigue is right now across the diamond. And obviously, they got an abundance of great catching with Caro and Teal and Corey Lee. And then obviously at first base, you're going to have Murakama. You're going to have over at short, you're going to have Colson Montgomery. You'll have Miguel Vargas. So you're going to have a number of guys. And then Chase Mydroth at second. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of guys on that infield that you're going to watch with intrigue as soon as the season starts, and obviously throughout spring training. And, remember with spring training is everybody in spring training is working on something different. Veterans are just trying to get back in their swing, get back into the groove, where like young kids, like a lot of the White Sox have, they're working on improving their craft, trying to make a team, trying to make a good impression. They're playing hard, they're showing off their skill. So that is meaningful for them. So it is worth watching those performances here in spring training.
Um, yeah, absolutely. Um, and, let's see what else. There's one minor league player that I wanted to bring up. We'll talk more about some of the other young players that are not necessarily going to be on the major league roster to start the season, and maybe not even at all this year. Um, but kind of want to shake out how things are going in the majors first. One is Sam Antonacci. Uh, he was a guy that is regarded as a light hitter, not a home run guy. And I know this is early, but he's the last couple of at bats, he's hit home runs. And I don't know if this is a luck thing, just a small sample size, or if something he did in his swing has changed, but he's starting to get a power stroke, which changes probably the calculus of his, projection.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, the swing's been pretty impressive so far, and he hasn't hit many cheapies either. He's hitting them way, way out. And, that's good to build some confidence for a kid like that.
Um, so I wonder, what happens to him. It'll be interesting to see, uh, what happens there. And, if he turns out to be good, it just adds to that glut of infielders that the White Sox have, which is never a bad problem to have.
No, no.
Especially when they're probably going to, in a couple of months, draft another shortstop with the number one overall pick.
Yeah, who might be the next generational talent. Him and have you seen what Connor Griffin is doing with the Pirates?
No, I
The number
haven't.
one prospect in baseball. Yeah, that is a talented dude right there.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen Rock Chalowski's stats this year so far?
Yeah, and he hit another monster home run today. So the White Sox might be drafting a generational talent.
Yeah, I don't know if it includes today or not, but what I've seen is 7 games. In 7 games, slash line of 393, 486, with an OPS of 1143 with 6 home runs. 6 home runs in 7 games.
That's pretty good.
And he's showing like good glove. And I saw an article that was like, "Oh, do you consider drafting him when you've got young players you like at short?" Yeah, when that
Of
guy's there,
course.
you figure out what to do with people. You
You
figure
should,
it out.
you never have enough shortstops in your organization.
No, no, you figure out. Like I'm I'm if Rock Chalowski's this guy and Colston Montgomery is the guy that we saw last year, guess what? You move one of them to second base and you get rid of Chase Mydroth. Like, I'm okay with that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You do that in a heartbeat.
Like, you don't take a guy that's lesser because of a position. Like, that's stupid. You take the guy that's just absolutely crushing it and looks to be a generational guy.
Yeah, I mean he might transform the White Sox into a legit like longtime contender. He's that impressive.
If the young pitchers they have turn out to be what you hope, and this kid comes up and is just a monster, like, yeah, that is the recipe for success.
Right.
And going back to the point about like what the White Sox could look like this year, I there's they don't have the horses, I think, to be sustained success. And I think one serious injury could derail some of it. But, you also have, I mean, look at that rotation. Shane Smith, Davis Martin, Kay, Fetty, Burke. Like, if you get one of your young, talented pitchers that comes up early and is able to establish himself in that rotation, that also can buoy you a lot too.
Yes.
So, there is room to improve. As much as there is room to fall off, there is room to improve on this team.
No, I think this is going to be an insanely improved team this year. Like I see mid high 70s wins as a possibility. I'm not guaranteeing it, but I think it's very possible they can do it. I mean, it's going to obviously injuries are going to take a role in it, and then some of the young kids if they go through some of the growing pains of being young players, but I think mid 70s wins is definitely on the table. I know Vegas's odds aren't as high, but I see them being better than people think. I really do.
There's two more things I want to talk about White Sox. And yes, Gary, I know you're listening, and we will start talking about the younger players. Uh, is in due time. Is at Sox Fest. They handed out pack of cards, and I thought it was like player cards because they were wrapped in like shrink wrap. I didn't open them till we grabbed food afterwards because it's basically the same size as trading cards. They look like a pack of trading cards. But I opened it up, and it is trading cards, but not of players, of the White Sox giveaways for this season. So they made trading cards for them. I wanted to go through my top five.
Okay.
Number one is the 90s City Connect jacket. On April 25th, the first 15,000 fans, 21 and up, will get a Miller Lite White Sox 90s City Connect jersey. It looks like a starter jacket.
Hmm.
And it's got like the um kind of the City Connect Sox logo but it's got the wings on it. And then on there it's got the City Connect logo on the front of it. So, and it's got Miller Lite on the sleeve. I kind of want that, and I might go to that game and get myself a milkshake and sit in my new jacket.
Wonder what the milkshake is going to be this year because last year it was like what, birthday cake, the year
It was
before.
birthday cake. I saw what it was. I don't remember, but it sounded good.
So they did the campfire, they did the birthday cake. I, what it would be like a Sunday milkshake, maybe? I'm just trying to guess.
Um, I don't remember. Let me see if I can Google that quick.
An Italian beef milkshake.
Um, duh, duh, duh. Here we go. It is uh the Tokyo Drip, a vanilla and strawberry milkshake topped with California sushi rolls, available at select concourses.
Everything sounded good until the sushi rolls on top. It just seems weird to me.
It is a $50 milkshake.
Oh my God. Take off the
The,
sushi rolls. That sounds really good.
the top comment is potion of instant diarrhea.
Like the campfire milkshake wasn't already.
Uh,
I mean, the campfire milkshake sounded like it tasted divine, but oh my God, I would not be feeling good after I had one of those.
the birthday cake milkshake was arguably the best milkshake I've ever had.
I've heard multiple people say that.
It was well worth the $20. I did not complain once. I drank it, and then I brought the glass home and I went, I enjoyed this milkshake thoroughly. I don't like chocolate, so I didn't get the campfire one, but that birthday cake one was delish.
I love birthday cake things in general, so I probably would have loved it. I never tried it, but like people are like, I like pie better than cake. I'm like, no, give me cake all day.
Let's see if will the Um, I wonder if they're going to still have the birthday cake milkshake. If they don't, I'm going to be very sad.
Well, it seems like they just have the one like luxury shake every year and they
No,
change
they
it.
had both last year. They had
Oh, they had the campfire
they
last
had
year
the
too?
campfire. Yeah, they had
Oh.
the campfire and the birthday cake.
So are they just slowly building up like a huge milkshake
Well,
menu?
when you went to get it, it's like they didn't make it on demand. They just had like people just making it, and you went up there, and then like you got in line to just grab the one they just made. So
Yeah,
it was
right.
like a you know a uh, like a factory.
Bum 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 bum.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm curious. Curious if it'll be back. We'll find out. So number one is the '90s City Connect jacket. Number two is the Mexican Heritage jersey. And it says it is July 10th. First 15,000 fans get the Mexican Heritage jersey, which says Los White Sox, and it's black with like a southwestern pattern that's neon pink.
Hmm.
Uh, Number three would be the Los White Sox poncho. Uh, the first 15,000 fans on September 25th versus Colorado will get the Los White Sox poncho. Number four on my list is the City Connect crew neck sweatshirt. And that's from Rate. Guaranteed Rate is the sponsor of that one. That is 926. First 15,000 fans get the City Connect crew neck. And then number five on my list is Finance Bro Vest. And it has like the old timey White Sox logo where it's like the S with the O and the X inside the S. And the first 15,000 fans get the Finance Bro Vest. It's like a zip up vest.
Hmm.
Um, some of the uh some of the runners up is the Irish quarter zip. Um, so it is it's got the green leopard or the four leaf clover logo with the green like interior on the neck. Um, there's also the Colston Montgomery hooded jersey tank top, the Jenks and AJ Przinsky bobblehead. That's a good one. Then there's the double Kyle Teal and Edgar Caro bobblehead. Then there's the homies big head Mr. Raza. That's a good one as well. And then there is the game before the 4th of July that says Let Freedom Swing. It says Let's go White Sox. And it's got a people in Revolutionary War uniforms hitting a baseball. So
They're quite creative with these.
yeah, yeah. Yep. And then there's a domino set that's coming in August.
Hmm.
So I could see myself going to the White Sox where they beat the Cubs badly is awesome giveaways.
Yeah, I agree.
And this isn't even good as last year. These are some good ones. Like, so I want to go to at least three of the top five there. I want that Mexican Heritage jersey and I want that 90 City Connect. So April 25th, I need to be at a game. The first one on the list, I think. And
Local man eats all the milkshakes.
I will. I will be eating those milkshakes.
There's just a pile next to you. Arr, it's a relentless eating machine.
He just won't stop. Uh, the last thing I want to talk about the White Sox is, have you been following along with like some of the early talks about the work stoppage in baseball?
A little bit.
So it seems like obviously the big push is a hard cap, but a floor.
Mm-hmm.
And the floor, I've heard higher numbers, but I went with the low range of what I've seen the floor. The floor on the low range would be 140 to 160 million dollars. That would be the floor. Do you know what the White Sox estimated payroll is going to be next year, just with current salaries and estimated arbitration? without adding any free agents?
90?
52.
Oh, wow.
That would mean the White Sox in one off season would have to spend 88 to 108 million dollars for that year.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that is a lot of money.
That's not like, oh, they have to add some, like, that is adding like four superstars, like four all-star type players. Like, that's a lot of money.
Hey, take on some contracts people don't want anymore.
Yeah. Like when they put the hard cap in and the Dodgers got to get rid of players, you can trade for pennies on the dollar.
You act
Oh,
like it's gonna be Mookie Betts or
yeah.
Shohei
Shohei
Ohtani,
Ohtani for Lenine Sosa. Done. Done.
obviously.
Uh, yeah. So that's, I mean, it's hard to imagine a world where the collective bargaining agreement is agreed upon that has a cap and doesn't have a floor. Right.
Hmm.
So yeah, and I saw like a guess at the floor like of $180 million. That the White Sox would have to spend like $130 million. How do you even do that? Like people are going to get stupid money.
Well, maybe
Stupid.
they extend some of their young kids.
You'd have to extend them, with some big salaries
Well, yeah,
because
yeah, buy out their RB years.
yeah. So yeah, the first numbers I went with, because nobody knows what they're going to be yet, but um, hard cap of 260 to 280 and a floor of 140 to 160. There would be some teams that would be in trouble
Oh God,
if they
yeah.
put that a 260 hard cap in.
Do you think the Dodgers and Steve Cohen are gonna agree to that?
Oh, I no, but
It's owners versus players.
it's going to be most owners though. Most owners are going to agree to that. It's just going to be a handful that are going to get outvoted.
Yes, correct. But they're the biggest money makers too, so
Um,
you got a complication there.
yeah, I mean it's like you look at. I'm sure the Cubs would want the hard cap. Uh,
You can only
so
sell so many pumpkins at Gallagher Way.
So the Dodgers would be, if the cap was one or 260 this year, the Dodgers would be $121 million over. So Dodgers over, Mets over, Yankees over, Phillies over, Blue Jays over, Dodgers over. I'm sorry, Padres over. So Dodgers, Mets, Yankees, Phillies, Blue Jays, Padres. And if it was 280, it would be all of those teams except the Padres. They're 262. So,
Yeah, it's
and
going to be interesting. I'm
so
just going to try to enjoy this season.
you'd have five or six teams over, but how many teams would be under that like 100, let's do 150 in the middle. How many teams are under 150? Miami, Cleveland, Chicago, Washington, Tampa, Colorado, Minnesota, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, Oakland, Cincinnati. Nine, yeah, teams 19 through 30 are under the floor. That would have to come up to it.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot of teams.
It's a lot of teams, and Miami would have to come up. They're at $78 million right now.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Fold them.
I've honestly just for the chaos, I kind of want this to happen.
Chaos.
The Cubs would be fine. They're at
Yeah, oh,
240.
yes.
240.
Yes. We sold just enough pumpkins.
Yeah, you'd also have to get rid of the kicking the can down the road with the the Shohei Ohtani type contract. because that would undermine that too.
Oh, the deferrals.
Hmm. You'd have to do something where it's like, what was it the NHL did when they had all those teams were doing the super long contracts, um, the way they calculate it. So, um, if you like, they might say like, oh, fine, you can do the deferred money, but the minute that player retires, all of that money is due in that next season or something.
Hmm.
That would be funny. You're like, oh shit, we owe $500 million next year. We're we're triple the salary floor or the salary cap.
Yeah, that would cause chaos, wouldn't it?
It would be funny though. I think they would like they'd have to phase that in though,
Yeah.
because it's hard to punish a team that was loosely playing with the rule by the rules, and then you can't change them afterwards.
Hmm.
Should we go to the Cubs?
Yeah.
Showed us in midseason form of giving up home runs.
Well, yeah. Home runs are just always going to be part of his game. It's a matter of how he's able to keep guys on base or off base, I should say, and generate some more whiffs again because his whiff rate really dropped last year, and that caused a lot more contact. I mean, in year one, his whiff rate was much, much better. He was still giving up a lot of home runs. He's never been a guy to walk a lot of dudes, but I mean, giving up more contact is going to lead to more runs because a lot of those are fly balls. Even if they're not home runs, if you're giving up more hits, then those home runs do a lot more damage. I mean, if you're just giving up a few solo home runs a game, it's like, okay, you can live with a few solo home runs, but we saw towards the end of last year where it just all came apart. And
I mean, Kyle Hendricks was the king of like the only runs people would score like solo home runs.
right,
And
and,
you're
and
like,
that's
okay,
how
I can live
Shota
with
was
that.
his first year. Yeah, you can live with that. But I mean, there were a lot of concerning trends towards the end of last year with Shota, and I'm not going to go too off the deep end in spring training, but it is a reality that even if Shota does rebound a bit from the end of last year, home runs are just going to be part of his game. That's not going to change.
Right. And, there's a reason that the Cubs uh didn't really want to pay him this year.
Well, they didn't want to have him around longer term with no trade clauses, especially.
Um, I wonder how he's going to fit in with this team and what he's going to look like by midseason.
Well, I am going to throw in the big piece of Cubs news we got this weekend in relation to this. We heard that the surgeon has cleared Justin Steele for full activity, which is huge, and they're hoping he'll be back late May and June, which, okay, if you have concerns about Imanaga before Steele comes back, especially, well, he'll be at least pitching before Steele comes back in the cold wind blowing in Wrigley. So there's that bit of comfort. But having Justin Steele back will be big because he does not give up a lot of home runs traditionally. I know he's coming back from injury, so there's a bit of mystery there. But I mean, with Shota, if things go south, at least you have more depth on your pitching staff with or without Justin Steele.
True. Um, yeah, so I just want to see some sort of bounce back. I
Yeah,
know I know we
yes.
won't get, the best that we've seen him, but I don't want to see the worst either.
No, I'm with you. I mean, I'll happily take like, hey, give me a 3.7, 3.6 ERA, a 4 FIP, low walks, low whip. You're going out there giving quality enough starts to keep the teams in ball games, even if you're giving up some solo jacks. Fine. He's not an ace. I don't expect him to be an ace. I just, like you said, I don't want him to be more of the trend we saw in the last few months last year because that was bad.
It was real bad. Real bad. Um, So we got bad news about Tyler Austin.
Kind of out of nowhere too.
Yeah. Um, and they said he's going to be out for months, which is bad. Uh, so suddenly a signing that I think everybody looked at as meh, no big deal. And Michael Conforto to a minor league deal, looking more and more like that's going to be converted to a major league deal.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing. I don't have high expectations for Conforto at this point. The numbers last year were not good. The only thing I'll say is if you look at some of the peripherals will tell you that the quality of contact was better than what the outcome showed last year at the plate, and he still is good at taking walks. So I am not looking for all-star Michael Conforto. I would just like it if he does indeed make the roster, give you something, give you a little pop, some walk, if he hits 220 but gives you some homers and some walks, so be it. He has a decent versatility in the outfield, although his defensive metrics the past few years have not been spectacular, but he can play the position in terms of knowing what it's like to play in the outfield. So, yeah, I mean, the Conforto signing definitely made more sense after they lost Austin. And I think the reason is because there were a few guys out there that were available, like Starling Marte. He just signed with the Royals, but he was available before that. Like Tommy Pham, Andrew McCutchen. But I think the Cubs going after a lefty guy who was going to be signed initially to a minor league deal is what they wanted to do. Give him a look before he makes the major league roster. But yeah, I do think it's very possible he makes the major league roster at this point.
I mean, yeah, last year was not a good year, but the year before, uh, he hit 20 home runs, um, and
Yeah, he was
had
fine with the Giants that one year.
yeah, and he had like a over a 750 OPS, which is
It's
par.
above average, technically.
So you're like, okay, that's pretty good. Um, but he's a guy that has hit over 30 home runs in a season.
He was once like one of the top, if not the top prospects in baseball. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, so he's of course he's always going to have that big strikeout ability, where he's going to strike out 20-25% of the time. But like you said, he's a guy that walks 10 to 13% of the time. Like
Hmm.
that's good. Uh that on base percentage, you know, typically in the mid threes. Last 2 years not, but before that
The
it was in the
walk
mid
rate's still
threes.
good.
Yeah, the walk rate's good. Um, so what are his steamer projections for this year? He's looking at a 230 batting average, 318 on base, 409 slug, 17 home runs, 10 and a half walk, 25 strikeout.
That's not bad.
No.
Those projections are not bad.
I mean, that's based on 400 plate appearances, which I don't think he's going to get. Um,
No, no. And I mean, I'm not even looking as much as like a home run total, but like, yeah, if you were to tell me he had like a 318, 320 OBP and a slug over 400, yeah, I would happily take that at this point from him.
yeah, I would happily take that as well, especially given uh, an over 10% walk rate. That's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, what else with the Cubs? What other Cubs topics do we have here?
Well, I mentioned Justin Steele.
Yeah.
Obviously, the guys are going to be going over to the WBC. So, Bregman, Suzuki, who's already over there. taking BP with Shohei, PCA, number of other pitchers like Javier Assad. I believe is Palencia pitching in that?
Yes.
Yeah, and then Tyone and Boyd. Tyone will be with Canada, Boyd will be with US. So, you're going to have a chance to get a look at a lot of the depth that you have. This was something I wrote for Shy City Sports, but you're going to look at Michael Conforto. You're going to look at some of the other outfielders in camp, Chas McCormick, Dylan Carlson. You're going to look at Kevin Alcantara, who I think is going to start the year in AAA, but you're going to give them good looks, and they're going to have their chance to play out there.
Yeah, I mean it starts this week, the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
So it's on Thursday. Thursday is the first game. I guess in the US, I guess technically it'll be on 10 o'clock or our time, 9 o'clock at night on March 4th. So what is that? Wednesday? So Wednesday night,
Yeah, Wednesday
we
night.
we can watch Chinese Taipei versus Australia at the Tokyo Dome.
Hell yeah, I'm in.
I mean, why wouldn't you be? I don't even know who's on the Chinese Taipei team.
Well, wasn't Jonathan Long supposed to be on it, and then he hurt his wrist?
Um, let's see. The Chinese Taipei roster. Uh, I don't know any of these players. Oh yeah, Jonathan Long.
Yeah, but he got
Yeah.
hurt.
Um, Lyle Lynn from the A's. Um, I'm looking for a Heesop Choi. Is he on this team?
I don't think so.
No, no, he's not. Let's see. What about Australia?
How
Uh,
old is he? Is Hesop Choi's got to be at least in his 50s by now, right?
no, he can't be that old. No.
46.
Yeah, I know he's younger than me,
Okay.
but I thought he'd be a couple more years younger than me, but not. Guess not. Um, let's see. Australia. Um, Josh Hendrickson, John. Man, that team's not good either.
I mean, it's probably going to be USA and Japan.
Yeah. Yeah, not good. Um,
Blah, blah,
yeah, that's going to
blah.
be a terrible game. I mean, it might be a good game, but it's nobody we know.
Who Bob what pants?
Yeah, who are the teams here? That I'm. I mean, some of the South American teams are probably going to be good. Like, let's see, let's look at Cuba. Cuba. All right, maybe they're not that good either.
Is Yoenis Cespedes going to play?
Yohan
Was Set?
Moncada is.
Oh, that's right, he is. Wait, was
Alexi
Cespedes?
Ramirez.
Was Cespedes? Was he Dominican or was he Cuba?
I
I
think
don't
he was
remember.
Cuba.
I thought he was Cuba too.
Um, yeah, no, it's not that good. What about the Colombian team?
Alexei Ramirez is going to be the
Jose
oldest player
Quintana. They got Jose Quintana.
who's going to be
Julio
pitching for the
Teheran.
Rockies this year.
Is he?
Yeah, yeah. Think about Jose Quintana at Coors Field. Have fun with that.
Uh, right. What about Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico. Edwin Diaz, Martin Maldonado,
Martin
no,
Maldonado.
Nolan Arenado, Edwin Arroyo. Um, Yachty is going to be the manager,
Oh, that's right, he is.
and Sandy Alomar Jr. is at first. Joey Cora is at third.
Like
Edgar
playing.
Martinez is the hit. No, no, they're
Oh,
pitching.
okay. I was
Their
gonna say,
coaches.
like, wait, what?
Edgar Martinez is the hitting coach. Man, that's a their their coaches are all stars. Um, yeah. What's this? What is the Great Britain team going to look like? What's the Italian team? It's going to be a bunch of people that ate pizza one time. They're
Yeah.
like, I'm on Team Italy. I like pizza.
I know Great Britain. Usually Lars Nootbaar is on that team.
Adam Ottavino is on Italy. Aaron Nola.
I remember when Anthony Rizzo played for them.
Kyle Teal is going to be on Team Italy.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. John Birdie. Sam Antonacci.
Well, that makes sense.
Miles Mastroboni.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
I quickly looked at this name and I thought it was Dominic Calzone, but it's Canzone. It'd have been a lot cooler if
Dominic.
it was Calzone. Dave Righetti is the pitching coach. Um, what
Is
is this
Gary
great?
Gaetti going to be a coach?
Uh, this Great Britain here. Um, Gary Gilhill. Uh, Jazz Chisholm. Um,
Oh, yeah, didn't he play on Great Britain the last time, too?
I don't maybe Trace Thompson
He's still playing.
for Great Britain. Yeah,
Hmm.
who is Great Britain? Um, all right, now we'll go to the real one, Mexico. They're gonna put a good team there, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Javier Assad,
Hmm.
uh, Taiwan Walker, um, no, it's not as good as I thought it would be. Um, what's
Maybe just bad timing.
yeah, Team USA though. Uh, cat, we got the big dumper. We got Bregman and Goldschmidt and Bryce Harper, Bobby Witt Jr., Gunnar Henderson, Byron Buxton, PCA, Aaron Judge, Kyle Schwarber, Mark DeRosa is the manager. Andy Pettit is the pitching coach. Matt Holliday is the hitting coach.
Solid coaching
David
staff.
Ross is the bullpen coach. um, I guess let's look at Venezuela. Venezuela. Ranger Suarez, William Contreras, Wilson Contreras, Glaber Torres, Suarez, Ronald Acuna, Jackson Churio. Uh, Robinson Chirinos is the bench coach. Miguel Cabrera is the hitting coach. Love this. Love it.
Yeah, man, I like it.
And yeah, that's I I think that team might do pretty good. I just want to see somebody that's not America or Japan win it. So I'm gonna be on Team Venezuela.
You're gonna be playing for Team
Yes,
Venezuela.
yes, if they need me.
All right, have fun. Good luck.
Uh,
Who's this guy coming to bat with the Greedo mask on?
that would be awesome.
Instead of batting gloves, you got the Greedo hands.
Matt Mervis is going to be playing for Team Israel.
Oh, I did see that. Is he even on a roster this year? Like an actual MLB roster this year?
It's going to be him and Harrison Bader. The manager Brad Ausmus, Kevin Youkilis is the bench coach. Mark Loretta is the third base coach. Jason Bell first. Jason Marquis is the bullpen coach.
Jason Marquis. Is
Uh,
Sandy Koufax going to be on the team?
Kenley Jansen is going to be on the Netherlands team. I feel like these people. I went on vacation to the Netherlands. I get to play.
I want to ask some of the guys like Kelly Jansen, what is your connection to the Netherlands?
Yeah, Ozzy Albies and Xander Bogarts and Didi Gregorius. And what is
Are
uh
all in the Netherlands?
Jeremy Profar? Like where? Why are you on the Netherlands team?
That is a great question.
Uh, Jerickson Profar as well. And Andrew Jones is the manager.
Of the Netherlands?
Yes,
The recently elected Hall of Famer Andrew Jones
Andrew Jones is the manager.
of Team Netherlands. Who would have thought the Netherlands would have such an intriguing baseball roster?
Right? Like you're like, oh hey, this is actually kind of a legit roster. And then where's yeah, and then we go Dominican. All right, Sandy Alcantara, uh, mm, Luis Severino, Austin Wells, Vladdy Jr., Manny Machado, Ketel Marte, Carlos Santana, um, O'Neill Cruz, Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis, Albert Pujols is the manager. Placido Polanco is the bench coach. Wellington Cepeda is the pitching coach. Uh, I don't know. Maybe I root for the Dominican team. And then what's the last one here? The Nicaraguan team. Uh,
Team Netherlands, baby. It's all about Team Netherlands.
it's a bunch of people that have never been to the Netherlands. They can't put the Netherlands on a map.
Congratulations, you're on Team Netherlands.
The Nicaraguan teams is going to be managed by Dusty Baker Jr.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. All right, there we go. So, so I'm still going team Venezuela. That's my team.
Go Netherlands.
That would be amazing if that was the final.
I'll be singing the Netherlands anthem even though I have no idea what it
I
is.
have no idea what it is, but I'm going to learn it quick.
Hail to the Netherlands.
Uh, um, so the Bulls won a game.
Hey, fun fact. Today, the Bulls and the Blackhawks won. They have more combined wins in March than they did in February, and it's March 1st.
I was going to say that. I was like, I think they might have more combined wins because the Bulls didn't win in February.
Nope, and the Blackhawks only won once. And now, granted, they were on the Olympic break for a few weeks, but still, they won their first game against the Sharks, then lost until the Olympic break, came out of the Olympic break, lost to really crapper against the Predators, and then got beat by Colorado before going in and kicking the Mammoths' butt today. Congrats on Artiv Soderblom on his first career shutout.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, so the Bulls got their first win. They did not win a single game in February, which is not good. They beat a Milwaukee team with no Giannis, and they beat him pretty good.
Yeah, they go on like a 27-0 run at one point.
27-0 run.
Yeah, that's the Ben Johnson effect. I don't know if you saw Ben Johnson was at the game.
No, I didn't, but that would pump me up.
He pretended to take his shirt off again. You got to go see the clip.
But it's funny. So, it's hard to predict what the Bulls' final record is going to look like because they were hovering around that playoff spot before that final, the play-in games before the trade deadline, right?
Right.
And then they go on an 0 for February run. So it's hard to figure out who exactly they're going to be or what their win total is going to look like. But most other teams, I feel pretty confident we're not going to see too high of highs or low of lows. So looking at the teams that are worse than them, currently the Bulls have 25 wins. If Sacramento keeps winning at the pace that they're winning, they're going to end up with 19 wins. Brooklyn, 21 wins. Indianapolis, 21 wins. Washington, 22. Utah, 25. So it's looking like the Bulls are going to have probably 6th, 7th, 8th best odds of getting the number 1 overall pick.
Cool.
So we're going to be watching some of the worst basketball ever played in Chicago for no reason.
Yeah, it was too late.
It
was too late to up your odds.
Yeah, it's too late.
Now you just got to pray for a miracle.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you probably have like a 13% chance. It's not 0. But it's also not 40%. So you don't have amazing odds. And so it's just like it's too little too late for this. So how do you get better? And the bigger question is, if Matas is a guy that you plan to have as part of your building block of the future, what does all this losing do to him? Like, how does that impact him? That can't be good for his development.
No, probably not, but I like Montas. I don't think he's really a building block. I think he's a complementary building block, but not the cornerstone.
I mean, but what else do you have?
You don't.
I mean, you're gonna go after 45-year-old LeBron?
Hell yeah, let's do it. It's the Bulls.
I'm gonna hit right now. Sim Lottery and Tankathon. What do the Bulls have? I pressed it. What number do you think they got?
7.
9.
Ugh.
9.
9.
I hit it again. 9. To be fair, they're going to move up a little bit because they're not going to win at a 41% pace for the rest of the season. They got 21 games left. They're 1-9 in their last 10, but the team's in front of them. Sacramento's 2-8, Indiana's 2-8, Brooklyn's 2-8, Washington's 3-7, Utah's 3-7. New Orleans is on a pace. They're on 6-4 in their last 10, but then Dallas is 2 of 10, Memphis is 3 of 7. And the Bulls are 1-9. Like, sure, you're catching up to them, but you're so far behind. You're 11 games behind Sacramento. Sure, you gained a game on them in the last 10 games, but you got 21 games left. So you can gain 2 more games on a team that's 11 games worse than you. Okay, cool. Cool story, bro. From what I read, I haven't dove into the players yet, but this is supposed to be like a 5-player draft. And if you don't get in that top 5, then what's the point? And currently where they sit, again, they'll catch up. They'll probably get, I'm going to say, the 7th best odds. That's my guess. And that would put them at 32% for a top 4. Up from where they are now is 20.3. So that's a big jump. But that top 3 is 52% of getting a top 4. So their number, if at 7, they have a 7.5% chance of the number 1 overall. And number 7 is 32% to be top 4. Wasn't going straight across. So 32% top 4, 7.5 for number 1. So roughly 1 out of 3 to be in the top 4. Not the worst, but not the best either.
No.
And the last time they drafted that high, they got Pat Williams. So there's that.
Yuck. That's all I got.
Yuck indeed.
Yuck.
Was there anything else you want to talk about?
Nope, I've said my piece.
I think that's going to do it for this episode of Bill Swerski Sports Talk Chicago. I want to thank everybody so much for listening. Please hit subscribe however you listen to podcasts, whether it's iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, Google Play, Spotify, etc. Share this podcast with your friends. Have a grow the show. Follow us on social media. Facebook.com or at Swerski Sports, Facebook.com/Swerski Sports, SwerskiSports.com, or Swerski_sports_podcast on Instagram, or ShyFanPat2 on Twitter /X, or AlexanderJPatCreative.com for all the cool stuff that Alex does. And again, thank you all so much for listening. And until next time, bear down.
Cubs win! What a lucky break! The good Lord wants the Cubs to win!
We thank Ditka and God for all they have provided.
Cubs win! Cubs win! Cubs win!
Oh, I don't want her. You can have her. She's a Packer fan. She can't fit in my van.
And she looks like Remember, New Yorkers, smoking crack is not legal on planes.
Bears 31 to -7.
The Bears!
Oh, when the Bears go bearing down